Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, a weekly comedy talk show that dives into the personal lives of comedians, experts, and creators. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, a very amateur stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed sad girl. It's the comedy podcast with a lot of heart. Feel hard and talk hard. This is the Intoxicated Podcast.
Family in Boston. Like they live in the suburbs, you said, or like near?
Yeah, Lowell. So it's this like town, like 20 minutes outside of Boston.
So when I went to Boston, I was extremely disappointed at the lack of the accent. I didn't hear it. I was so excited to hear it.
It's the best accent.
And I didn't hear it anywhere. I'm like, maybe it's in the suburbs. Do your cousins have?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fuck yeah.
Come to the car.
That's what I wanted.
We're going to the bar. So, okay, funny story before we get into Clare's episode. When I was in Portland with Clifton, I was staying in this hotel room, and the shower, I could not figure out the shower. I wanted to have like a shower before going to bed, wash my hair and all of that, and truly was Googling.
I saw your stories about this.
Googling how to use it, was so confused, and I stupidly had to call the front desk to be like, how do you use your shower? And it was the funniest thing because they were like, just one moment, please. And then you could hear them just go, 407, they need help with the shower head. Like they could have just yelled, this idiot needs help with the shower head.
Yeah.
The guy they sent up had the best Boston accent, and he was just like cracking jokes with me. He's like, so you broke the shower, did you? And I love it.
That sounded like a Cockney British accent.
I fucking suck at accents.
Yeah, that's really funny.
So
when I was in Boston with Heather, we kept trying to do the accent and we kept failing. And so as a joke, we just were like doing it as badly as possible and just being like, I'm from Boston.
Not quite. I think it's just the car.
Yeah.
Ba.
Caffee.
We're going to the car.
I gave up already.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're just more piratey. I think, because I've been told that like Nova Scotians have accents.
Oh, of course you do. You had to be told that?
Kind of.
But you must go to areas of because you don't have a very thick Nova Scotia accent. I mean, you definitely hear it in your voice, but you must go to like Cape Breton or something and hear them.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
You can tell Cape
it's all
Breton.
shades of that. Like you are like. You're just a real light shade of that.
I'm a light shade of the Nova Scotian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the O's, house.
Yeah, you're towny.
I say house. People, apparently I'm saying house wrong.
Are you trying to say hose or house?
House. I can't afford.
Still don't know.
Hey, Claire, I can't afford a house.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or a hose.
It's a real tough hosing market.
Hosing. Oh, I love it. Anyways. Oh my gosh. Let's get into it. Oh my goodness gracious. This is awesome. I'm so excited to be here with a returning guest. Third time official, fourth time unofficial, I guess. You were you were behind the scenes
I've been all over this podcast.
But it's great because this is your first solo episode. And like I told you, solo's whole other thing.
Yeah.
When you're on with somebody, it's you're not the focus, the pair is the focus.
True.
So it's all on you this time, baby.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have one of the funniest comedians in Canada. Dare I say the world. One of my favorite people, comedian Clare Belford.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Those are really nice opinions.
I hype you up to everybody.
Oh my God. Thank you.
I really, really do. I'm so happy that you're in Halifax now.
Me too.
I hope you never leave us, or at least wait a couple of years before you leave us, because I understand, people have to move around.
Yeah, there's a world beyond Halifax, unfortunately.
Isn't that crazy? Sometimes I forget that.
Yeah.
When you're like so caught up in like your stupid problems, and then you're like, oh, like there's much bigger cities out there.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, it's crazy how quickly it can happen.
Right? But you have roots kind of everywhere.
I have roots in Edmonton and Toronto.
Toronto mostly, right.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
gotcha.
and I guess you could say PEI now.
Yeah.
I was there for a year.
I'd say so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm.
Yeah.
And you're now in Halifax.
I'm like a weed.
How are you finding it here now living in this city?
I am enjoying it, especially after PEI.
Yeah.
I had a real hard time there. It was, I mean, for a few reasons. It's not to shit talk PEI entirely, but it was definitely just, at the time we couldn't leave the island. So it was I couldn't possibly see friends or family if I wanted.
Yeah. Kind of felt like jail, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a big, beautiful jail.
Beautiful jail with a lot of potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like, it's just it was a little bit lonely and it I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so
not a good introduction to a province under the circumstances of which you lived there.
Yeah. Like you don't move anywhere in a pandemic. It's nowhere. It's like how everyone says, like, people always say, like, you got to see it in the summer. It's like, well, everywhere is good in the summer. Yeah. But like, don't move in a pandemic. Nowhere's good in a pandemic.
That's so crazy to me that you did that. Like, I mean, that's still such a, like, what a marker of your life, like, to go through this crazy, like, global thing, but then also personally have this big change.
Yeah.
Like, wows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while, a couple of years. Like,
it's been insane. I know. What the fuck? Yeah. Do you remember when things were chill?
Oh, God.
Do you remember when things were chill and not supercharged with weirdness?
You know, though, like, I was just thinking about this today, how when COVID hit, there was a part of me that was like relieved.
Yes.
Because it was just like, I was so tired at that point. Like,
yes.
Like I remember, like, I mean, and at that was like specific week, I was like already feeling really anxious about the pandemic, and I didn't know what the future was going to look like and how we were going to handle it, and was everyone just going to get sick, and what, you know,
so much unknown. And
I still had like shows booked and shit that I was like wondering if I should go to, and and I was so tired working full time. Like, it was just like every night that week I was getting home exhausted from work, and like having the show coming up that I was too tired to go to, and also like wondering if I should even go with the anyway. So like,
right.
I just, when it was like finally like the whole world was like, okay, it's a global pandemic, I was, and we're
all
not
shut down.
Yeah, we're not going to do anything for a minute. And I was like,
and no one's going to do anything.
Yeah, it's like, do you ever hope like you're going to get food poisoning just so you can get out of work? Like, that's how it kind of felt. I was like, I know, like, this isn't, but it's helping me right now.
The world went, we all need a fucking break, and especially workaholics need a break. Like, it gave us this, and I do think now, I think having gone through the pandemic and having all these people now have rested, they know what rest is like, and maybe now balance is more of a thing. And
I'm one of those people
in everyone's life now.
100%, yeah.
Because like you got a taste of it, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, I thrived doing nothing at all.
I think I did too, looking back.
I'm so good at just putzing. Like, I just loved, I'll just waste a day just like shuffling around and rearranging things, like just like touching things, like wiping something.
Tackle a bookshelf.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, my God.
You know, like clean out a closet.
Yeah.
And then.
Oh, I love that shit.
I do. I honestly, I've been thinking also a lot about it, 2020, because now memories are coming up. Like from 2 years ago,
like social media memories. You mean? Yeah.
And like I keep seeing like these Zoom calls with like 15 people on a Zoom call, 15 comics. Like we would do regular Zoom calls, and I still think it was the most connected to people I ever felt in such a fucking strange way, because I was locked in my house.
Yeah.
But yet I felt more connected to people than I think I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
Which is so strange.
It really made you realize how easy it is to connect.
Yeah. Yeah. And we don't do it anymore because we're sick of it.
Yeah.
We're sick of Zooms. You know, like.
I think it's also, I mean, I don't know. I'm interested in this subject. Like, now that we're on it, like I would assume that there's a certain level that's just like, if you don't connect, you're safe. Like, like you're you're starting to hear this.
ASMR, babe.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like in my thoughts.
Oh no, I love this. No, this is great. Intoxicated.
But like if you don't make the effort to like connect with people, even though you might really miss them or something, I don't know, there's just like there's no vulnerability. You're like, the vulnerability never even enters the equation, right? So it's like, that is what I think is very tiring for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. It's very tiring to feel vulnerable.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if you just instead don't do that and watch a show or something, what
there's a lot of
risk did you take?
A lot of self-soothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like grown adults have now learned how to self-soothe.
Oh God, yeah.
Like because of this whole thing. But the fucking rest thing, like I still haven't had COVID. I welcome it. You know, if I get it, I'll just be like, you know what? Cancel everything I had that week. Funny. And
you welcome it.
I will be able to clean my apartment. I will be able to finally watch some shows. Like, I truly don't have a lot of free time. Mm-hmm. So like I feel like some of us have to be forced to stay inside to fucking relax and stop.
Do you get vacation time with work?
I do, but they're never vacations for me. I'll be like, I'll take a week off and podcast a bunch. Like they're never really vacations.
Oh.
No.
Do you think it's possible that you could make the effort to schedule that in?
I'm going to try my best.
I think you can do it. I think you're very capable.
I'm going to try my best. It is becoming like higher and higher up on my priority list.
Good.
Like relaxation, joy, not working. And comedy is working to me, even though I'm still new.
It's true.
It is still working.
I know. It took me 8 years to wrap my head around that, but it's work.
And it really, but you see people, and some people it really isn't. Some people, they're just truly having fun. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I was there when I first started. I would say like my first year even maybe was fun and exciting. And now it's like, I gotta get better.
Well, I think
you know, I gotta improve. I gotta write more.
It's true. That's just, I mean, it can be both work and be fun and exciting.
Yeah.
But there's also, I think that's very true. Like as you move up and stand up, every step, like every level is harder than the last one, right? Like every level is harder to just exist in than the last one.
That is so true. It's like a weird fucked up video game.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it's probably, I don't know, actually, I've never done anything else, but it's probably the same in like any field. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I think the unique thing about stand up is that you don't have a boss. You're your own boss.
That's the fucking best. And you don't have a team. You don't have anyone to like be accountable to.
No.
It's actually, you know, as I say those things out loud, I was saying them like, this fucking rules, but it's actually those actually suck. Those things like I think I should be an improviser. but okay, so like you're someone, how long have you been doing stand up? 8 years, I think. And in April's my anniversary month. And everybody, please, so it's either 8 or 9 years. Now stop what you're doing and download Clare's album, The Entire Cabbage, because it's phenomenal. Oh God. The album art is definitely. And you're a phenomenal comic. Everyone says this. I've never heard a bad word said about you. You're someone like I look up to a lot in terms of like your comfortability on stage and like how you come off on stage is like I'm such an uptight like person that when I see you, I'm just like, oh my God, I wish I was as chill as Clare. It's a learned thing. Like you're so chill up there. Thank you. I would love to take this soundbite and take it to like the club owner in Edmonton. Like, please do. Hey, when I was 2 years in, you know, because I wasn't like I was getting the feedback that like, what do you do? Like, why are you so stiff up there? Like you know, it's all I'm saying is it's something I've had to work at really hard because it wasn't something that came natural to me. But that's actually comforting. That's it. I'm hoping it is. But it is that is feedback I've gotten a lot lately from people as how comfortable I come off on stage, and it's like it's filling me up. Like, it's like, it makes me feel, because I'm like,
good.
that is something I've wanted for so long.
Good. It really shows. And you're a comedian, and I think this can be said about a lot of the comics in Halifax that have been doing it as long as you have or longer. Like I trust you. Like, if I were to like put you on a show, like, I trust that you would do well. You know what I mean? Like, you're officially a, like, you can do it all. Like, that's kind of how I see like any type of crowd, whether that's, I've never seen you at like a corporate gig or anything, but I'm assuming like you get a lot of those. So like, I feel like you would be good like at an open mic or like, you know, a festival show. Like, well-rounded is what comes to mind.
That means a lot too. That's something that I always prioritized or thought of as important, was that ability to
adapt.
Yeah. To reach a lot of different kinds of people.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like be able to, connect, or for audiences of all different kinds to be able to connect to me.
And you do that so well.
That's so nice to hear.
Thank you. And but like, okay, so I need to ask you, as like, we're now friends. I hope we're friends.
We're friends.
This is Whitney Cummings' podcast. Are we friends? But like, you are 8 years, you know, I'm coming on 2, but like, that's including lockdown. So not really 2, you know, whatever. Are you someone who likes when newer comics ask you for advice, or they're like, Claire, what do I do with this joke? Like, do you welcome that? Because like, I'm friends with so many pros. And as a newbie, I'm just like, I just want, like, can I just pay them for an hour of their time? Like I almost want to pay you guys like a consultation fee to like talk to you about comedy. Because really, like, as a comedian, your night classes or your education is watching the pros, watching people do their thing and observing what they do and trying to do something similar, or, you know, in your own voice, obviously. But like, are you someone who welcomes that, or do you find it weird? I absolutely welcome it. Okay, sweet.
It feels kind of new to me, or I think I've never, what's new to me maybe is that I actually am in a good place and I like value my wisdom, and I but there's a lot of time that I spent thinking that I wasn't worthy of being asked things like that. Yeah. But lately I'm very excited to be asked, very happy to help if I can. And it's blowing my mind, because like, you're joking, but like, somebody did actually like sit Dan and I down to ask us some questions. Like, I mean, with our consent.
Really?
But
nice.
Like, she sat us down to ask us some questions about it, and then she did insist on paying us, which was very kind, but I would happily answer anyone's questions. But it blew my mind, the questions she asked, and like the information she was gaining from sources that she trusted. Yeah. And it like, thinking about it now, I'm like, I can't believe that I never did that. Like, I just floundered. Like, and there's some things that what I wish I had asked people about was like, how do you make a living at this? Like, how do you fucking do your taxes? Like, how
the businessy side.
Yeah.
Things.
And I didn't know who to ask about that, I guess. But yeah, when I hear people ask me those questions now, I'm like, you are going to be fine.
Yeah. Well,
no, it's a good thing to ask questions, and I'm happy to answer.
And you want to know what? Like, the younger generation is smart. These youngins, like Brad and I bonded over being older and just starting comedy. Like, he started at 33. I said 34 on the podcast, but I was also 33 when I started, I think.
You have the same birth chart.
The same comedy birth chart. But it is strange being older than people who've been doing it longer than you. So like, you're older in terms of age, but like way younger in terms of like comedic talent.
Oh yeah.
It's a bizarre thing. But the younger generation is they just want to ask. Like, they're just go-getters. Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't know growing up you could just ask for money through a GoFundMe. Like,
yeah. I think there's something, I think like there's something in just having come from like an era before this sort of level of technology, when you just like, you were very disconnected from other people, and you really did just kind of like figure things out on your own. And it was easier to just kind of like, I don't know, vamp your way through.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know. I guess it is now too. I don't know. Never mind. Cut all of this.
Who knows? I mean, I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing, but confidence is a strange thing. And it's always interesting to me seeing like new comics pop up who have no connection to the scene at all. And like, they're just doing it out of the pure joy of doing it.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
how did you get here?
How did you
find this?
I'm from like Andrew Vaughn's School of Comedy. Like, go talk to the comics afterward. You gotta sit at the comics table. You gotta talk to them. You gotta like stay. You can't leave an open mic. If you're on an open mic, you stay for the whole show and you watch that person closing it out. Like that's just I come from that
well,
traditional, I guess, approach. Whereas I think some of these newbies are like, I'm going home to sleep.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah. I think that there's a balance to find somewhere in the middle. Like I think that's a good example of why it's important to ask questions to a variety of people, because like, I think that advice is all very good and true, but yeah, it's like, that's my one reservation with being asked for advice in comedy. And it's just that like, there's no one way to do this. Like you're just getting opinions.
That's right.
But people present it and a lot of new people take it as fact or as like
Bible,
like rules.
Yeah.
And it's just,
yeah, that's very true.
I see it happening to like, I feel like I was really lucky because I had my older brother was a stand-up comedian. He was somebody that like actually had my best interests at heart and I trusted. And so
Scott Belford, shout out
Scott Belford. So I would see other comics getting advice from, because there's so many lunatics in comedy. Just seeing other new comics getting advice, crazy advice from absolute lunatics, or just like super polarized advice, like, and they would take it like, oh, okay, yeah, I like it. Well, you've been doing this a long time, and but
yeah, I always just say it's just about like being comfortable on stage when you're first starting. Like the one thing I tell all newbies, and I will tell them, like, don't focus on perfection. Just do the thing. You did an insane thing. So be stoked that you did it. Focus on I would say like getting comfortable on stage. And yeah, the joke writing will come. I mean, obviously strive to write jokes.
Yeah.
But I think maybe this is also coming from me just being very intimidated by these newbies and how fast they write. I'm not a fast writer.
Yeah. Well,
admittedly, I'm
very
not
busy.
Yeah. So, but I do get very intimidated by just these newbies who are like, okay, it's my second show, so this is the new set I'm gonna do. Well, and I'm like, I just go, what?
Yeah,
what?
That's misguided. I mean, I've rarely seen that happen, and then it's like an awesome 7 minutes.
Right.
Like, oh. I got in this argument with someone. I can't even remember who the argument was with, but I'm remembering the basis of it was that somebody, it was like at Heather's and my show in Toronto. We just ran this like weekly pro-am basically. So it'd be like a lot of comics would come with new stuff, like pros would come with new stuff, or like it would be a good spot for like new comics to try out stuff or to like,
college
spot.
College
comedy on college.
I knew it. I remember.
Yeah.
You had it. Mm-hmm.
And this woman came over. I almost feel like Heather and I might have talked about this when we did our joint podcast, but this woman came over afterwards and wanted to sit with us. And there'd been a comic on the show who's like one of Canada's best, probably just an absolute pro. I don't remember who it was, but they had their notebook with them because they were trying out new stuff. And this person came over and wanted to sit with us and wanted to ask us questions. And they asked, why would he read off the notebook like that? And we're like, oh, well, he's just like a good comic. Like this is just an opportunity for him to try some new ideas. And then they were like, well, if it was me, I would come with the joke finished. And I remember Heather being like, but the joke is never finished. Like you never write something down and then the joke is as good as it's ever going to be. Like
it goes through evolutions.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. I don't know why that
No, that, thank you for bringing up the notebook thing. Cause that is besides joke writing, my other biggest insecurity about currently where I'm at, where I still need the fucking notes. And I hate that about myself because really, like, realistically, I probably have 10 minutes that I have memorized, but I actually feel like I don't have it memorized. Because my memory is just true garbage. And my friend Deidre was like, well, Sarah, you're not sleeping. Like, there's a lot of reasons why your memory is probably shut. Like, you know what I mean? Like burnout does that to your memory. But I get very insecure when I have to like bring notes up, and I fucking hate that. It's actually like a big time goal of mine to just like go up and do a set without a notebook, because realistically, if I've been doing a joke for 2 years, I shouldn't need the fucking notebook. You know, at this point,
I think that's a very reasonable goal.
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean,
I've never seen you bring notes up.
That's interesting. I feel like
I don't think.
I mean, like I bring set lists up a lot.
Right. That's different, right?
It is different.
Okay.
I do bring notes up from time to time with like absolute brand new stuff, but if I'm bringing notes on stage, for me, honestly, it's like indicative that I'm unprepared. Like I didn't properly prepare for the show, and I'm not like
no, you're right.
But
you're right.
And it's like I was in a bad habit lately of bringing notes on stage and like really leaning on them. Like I was really checking my set list constantly.
Yeah. And
I just one day was like, I'm not going to bring a set list on. I'll have one in my phone if I absolutely need to get it, but I'm not going to just have it there. And I feel like I did that like a month ago, and I feel like all my sets have been way better since then.
Any tips for memorizing your jokes, but not coming off
rehearsed,
scripted, or stiff, or like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's my thing.
I think the best advice that like is really helpful for a lot of different facets of comedy is, are you listening to your sets? You got to listen to your sets. You got to record just the audio and listen to your sets. There's so much you're going to gain from that. I will ding the bell. Listen to your sets.
Ding that bell. I'm bad at that, especially the bad ones. I'm bad at. I don't want to relive it,
of course.
Right? But you gotta.
But the thing is, like, you gotta look at it like this: like, you'll listen to it, it'll be bad, but then your next set'll be better because you're more prepared.
So when you listen, do you make note of things?
Absolutely, make note of things. I definitely like, or you just hear how unnatural a phrasing might sound or something. You're like, I don't talk that way. When you hear yourself talk in a way that like isn't how you talk, you pick it out really quickly,
right? Because you're viewing yourself as a third party person. You're not in your head.
Yeah. And especially just if you're just writing it on the page, like it's so hard to hear yourself. So that's my best advice. If you can, like say your sets out loud to yourself, which is something that that was impossible for me for years. I don't know. It made me like want to crawl up inside my own body and die.
Well,
like it just
you run the risk of like, while you're practicing stumbling, and then you get in this bad mental headspace of, oh fuck, I'm gonna fuck it up. Because I did that. When I first started, I would rehearse like crazy, and I was better at memorizing back then than I am now.
Right.
Where I'm like, what am I doing tonight? Like on the way to the mic in the cab.
Yeah.
You know
I did
what I
that
mean?
for a long time. Yeah.
The balance is tough.
One of my, like before I was signed with Comedy Records, they asked me to come and do a taping they were doing. And I was literally like, I hadn't done a set in like a week or something. And I was on the streetcar, like being like, okay, what am I going to do? And it was, I was being like recorded. It was like a huge career opportunity.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, there's, peaks and valleys, you know, like, cause it's like, it's pretty unsustainable to do all the right things all the time, you know, but like if you do them as long as you can, it's still upward. It's still moving upwards. Even if you like do your best for a while and then you kind of like, you eat shit for a while, or you just like really let things slide. But you know, over time it'll work. Yeah, you gotta prioritize it too. Just give it 8 years, and then then you'll finally be comfortable on stage.
No, but
it's a long haul art, and I think a lot of people don't realize how long of a haul it is, because they're like, you do comedy, like I can't wait to go see. It's just like, I'm still working on this shit. Like, I am not like it's yeesh. Still
I'm
a
so
work in
envious that you haven't had any
progress.
family come see you. My family came to so much shit so early on, and it was brutal.
I mean, we'll talk after this, but there is a show coming up in May that like they probably could come to see. But like, I don't want them to, but I also might be backing out of that gig. So we'll talk about that later.
More on that
later.
After this.
What I say is, like, we're kind of in this era of like encouragement and positivity, but I always say, like, I am confident in my ability, but not in my material right now. So I have no doubt in that I could do things. I just don't like the jokes. And I don't like the variety of jokes I have. Right. And I would rather be in a better place with that before I do high pressure gigs at less than 2 years in.
Yeah. No, that happened to me a lot.
Yeah. I do think taking, I mean, I don't know, but I think sometimes taking opportunities you're not ready for could be a hindrance. It could help you too. But it could also be a hindrance.
It's definitely possible. Like, it's not. Yeah, it could go either way.
It could go either way. That's just it. But I've already taken so much of your time talking comedy. But we're gonna get into who Clare is.
Who's Clare?
Who's Clare? Clare.
No, wait.
Oh, we should play your music.
My music.
Do you remember the Dan episode? You came on for like 2 seconds. I put in like a Clare intermission music.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to play that now. We're getting into who Clare Belford is. All right, so I know you pretty well at this point, but I mean, there's always things you can learn about people. We're gonna get into the first segment, the assumption segment.
Amazing.
Bang, bang, bang. Okay, so I have a couple. Some of these might be stupid. You know how I suck at this segment.
I think it's on record how many times I've said I think you're good at this.
And I told you in chat that these are probably just going to come off as like compliments, and it's true because I really don't have any bad things to say about you. Number one is that, well, okay, I see you as someone who I would call a natural beauty.
Oh my goodness.
You're not someone who wears a shit ton of makeup, or you know what I mean? Like, you're just stunning on your own. So you're low maintenance. You don't need a lot of get ready time in the morning. Is that true? That's not a bad thing, by the way.
I know. I mean, I think I don't know. I wouldn't know.
You moved to new PEI in a suitcase or one bag.
Well,
so
Dan loves to exaggerate that. I had 2 suitcases. I brought quite a bit of stuff. Dan makes it sound like
small ones.
Yeah, Dan makes it sound like I had like a stick in a bindle.
That's exactly what I picture.
Yeah. No, I had 2 suitcases and a backpack. I don't take a lot of time necessarily like on makeup or on my hair or anything.
No.
But I'm very inconsistent because sometimes like I don't have a routine. So sometimes that can mean like I'm out the door no time at all. And sometimes that means I'm just like I'm having a full on meltdown, spinning my wheels, can't decide, everything looks awful. I want to just quit whatever I'm, so I'll take I'll take so long to like pick a shirt or something, or like all of a sudden everything feels like it looks awful. You know?
I hate that.
Sure, I'm sure that's like something that people identify with.
Well, especially when you're a performer, because you're not just dressing for you. You're dressing for how you look on stage.
Yeah.
And a funny thing that I thought of about you, assumption or anything. This is just a super fucking weird compliment to give you. Just like when I told Jordan Foisey that he sounds like a cartoon dog. I love, okay, this is so weird. I feel so bad for saying this. Okay, like I've been trying to dress more comfortable on stage and like just in life because all the pros I look up to, like Whitney Cummings, like like wearing pants and a t-shirt like on stage, like she told me after when I met her, just be comfortable. I love how you wear jeans. You are a good jean wearer. Jeans look awesome on you.
Oh, thank you.
Like you have that chill, casual, cool girl look that like girls like me are trying to get, but I would have to spend 2 hours to get there. Whereas I feel like with you, and so this is where perception comes in, I always feel like you come off effortless and
well, that's what I want. That's the look I'm going for. Yeah, I guess.
Good.
So yeah, like, and sometimes it is effortless, and then I'll sometimes it'll be like I'll just wear like something I haven't worn in 5 years. It's sitting in the back of my closet or whatever, and I'm like, oh my god, like I never used to like I'll build myself up like, wow, you really just put this on. Like you've had that back there for so long. You never had the confidence. And now you just put it on. It looks great. And wow, you can really do anything. And then some days I'm like, where's that shirt? I haven't worn in 5 years. Like I don't know. I'm not explaining this well, but I appreciate the compliment a lot. I'm glad that that's how it's coming off.
I just love it because I have this fear of like looking like I'm trying too hard. A style is just, I'm 35 and I still haven't figured out style or like look and feel, you know?
Absolutely. I think Toronto really helped me style wise.
Oh.
I feel like there's a real like city aesthetic that's like just like very comfort and function based.
Yes.
And I've always been, even before Toronto, like my favorite fucking thing in the world is if I'm dressed just right for the weather.
Yes.
Like I've layered properly or something, I remember one time in high school, I was walking with like some friends or something and my friends were dressed not as well for the weather. And we walked by this old couple and they both like looked at me like they had so much more respect for me than they did for my friends. And that really stuck with me. I was like, I want the respect of old people.
Right? Well, because like there's nothing, whenever I see like young girls downtown at like 3 a.m. in the cold without tights or pants or jackets, I'm like, what are you doing?
I know. I like, it's like all the power to you. And if that's what you want to do, you look great. Good for you. I mean, you look cold, but you look good.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of that is like just a self-care thing. Like if you're if you're prioritizing function over like, oh my God, the amount of tight dresses that I've squeezed myself into and been uncomfortable all night, just thinking that that's what looks good. But you know what looks good? When you're comfortable and you're breathing.
Mm-hmm. I think you do comfort great. Like I when you came, we were both at Yuck Yucks to watch that show. Who was
Peter Anthony? I remember this.
Yeah, you were just in a hoodie, and I was like, Sarah, you look fantastic in that hoodie.
And honestly, thank you for saying that because yeah, that's a departure for me.
Yeah, I know it stuck out to me.
Comfort is a departure
for me.
It truly is. Hoodies are like an at-home thing for me normally, or like. You know, like usually when I go out to places, I try to dress up more, but I don't know, man. It's a fucking struggle. Do you have a favorite, like, actually, we're going to get to more assumptions first.
Sure.
So low maintenance, so kind of true, I guess.
Yeah, no,
I'd
say
true.
like, I mean, oh boy, here we go. Yeah, low maintenance, here I go. By some definitions, you could say yes, low maintenance, but just because of those like incidences where I'm so far when I'm so high maintenance, like I just feel like it really messes with the average. Yeah.
Do you think men get like that?
I
really don't think they do.
I think a little bit. I don't think they internalize it more. I don't think that they express it even to themselves.
We're more emotionally intelligent is what Claire's saying.
Yeah.
This other assumption I have. Okay, so like, I kind of know some of your relationship history. Have you classically been the one who dumps the person?
Yeah, you're the dumper.
That was an assumption I had.
I'm the dumper. Yeah.
Which is, I think, a compliment, maybe?
I mean...
Good luck, Dan! No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I love you guys.
My two most serious relationships, I was the dumper, and one of my exes put it, I've heard it through like the grapevine, like the way that somebody had asked him like what happened with you guys, and he put it so beautifully. He was like, nothing was wrong, but it wasn't right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like, and it took him some time away from the relationship, I think, to realize that. But when I heard somebody tell me that, I was like, that's exactly what it was. Like, and part of that is because I was not in a good place. Like, I had a lot of work to do to be able to be comfortable in a relationship.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Like, yeah.
And not a lot of people realize that.
Yeah.
It's easy to stay in something for comfort and then not do that self-work, because self-work ain't fun, people.
Yeah. Well, and I was just so, I mean, like, with the one relationship, with both of them, I think they would have ended at some point or another, regardless of how well I was mentally. But the one in particular, I was a mess at the time. Oh. And I had no idea what was going on with me. And I was, and he really resisted like it ending. But it was hard because I could see that it was bad for him too.
Right.
And it's so comforting to know that he did eventually come to that realization as well. But yeah, I've like been working on it for a long time now. And, it's the same thing as like improving in comedy. It's a little bit and then a plateau and then a little bit and then a plateau. But
that's right.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I'm like, my therapist said to me one day that she's like, I think you're ready for love.
You passed the test. But like, that is a thing that is very hard to do, to step back and go, like, I have the opportunity to be with somebody and I'm choosing not to.
Yeah.
To heal myself and like get to know myself better. And so that the next relationship you're in, you're the best you could be for that other person. That's fucking hard to do. Yeah. And arguably, like,
another aspect of it too, I think, and I mean, I'm making a generalization here, but with men in particular, I find that they are not necessarily that forthcoming with how they actually feel about something. Mm-hmm. So I feel like a male tendency is often to be like, it's fine. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And they're not actually looking at if they're fine, or if they realize they're not going to tell you that. Mm-hmm. Like, men are just like, they just, it's such a big deal, I think, a lot of the time for men to open up to someone.
Yes.
And they're like, once they do it, they're like, I'm holding on to this for whatever it takes. Like, I'm not ready to have to do this again. So,
right. Because it takes so much for them to get there.
Yeah.
So then once they're there, they're like, I'm here for good.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm sure a lot of women are like that too, actually. Was that my phone?
My phone. Oh, it's Ian Black.
What's I was going to say, is it Casey Corbin?
Oh, shit.
Did something bad happen?
No, Ian just said there had a couple dropouts tonight in case you went on a last minute spot.
What you could do is go up early at Sunday Sillies and then come for the draw at Foggy. I could just put your name in for you or something.
That would be amazing. Yeah. I wonder if I could do that.
Yeah, just ask me if you can go up early because you were going to go to Foggy.
Oh my God, the fucking basement of the shoe stage just makes me shake in my boots.
It's a tough
I'm
one.
never really like.
And Sunday is tough.
But
Sunday draws a weird crowd there.
Ooh.
If you've ever seen me on Sunday at Sunday Sillies, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about you.
No, it's just, yeah, I know I'm the same. Like, I've never really had like an overly good set there. And also like, because it's the yuck stage. Yeah, it's just.
Have you done it though, since they added they have the two guys back there? They're the band's the Half Chubs. And it's there's two guys, Chad and Luke, and they just sit back there. One of them has a bass guitar, I think, and one of them sits on one of those box things and just hits it like it's like one of those little drum boxes that he sits on.
What the fuck? No?
And they play music in like in between, and you can interact with them if you want, or like I feel like they really help the vibe a lot. It like, because I was closing it out there a couple weeks ago, and it looked like it should have been just a scary, awful show, and then it turned out great. And I think that's a lot to do with the energy they bring. They're just super nice guys.
I just said yes, so there we
Nice.
go. We'll see what happens. We'll see if. Oh God, I just fuck. I have a bad time saying no, when, especially to spots.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because they are very high in demand right now in Halifax. I do find that it's there's this influx of people, and you gotta take what you can get here, because
Absolutely.
it's high demand.
But I do think that there is something to be said for like saying you can say no. Like we were talking about this a second ago, right? Like
Yes.
You feel like you have to say yes to everything.
Mhm.
Or- yeah.
Yeah,
you were like it could hurt better than help. I don't remember how you put it.
Oh, opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like opportunities you might not be ready for.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always something to be said. I think like I have a good friend who's one of the best stand-ups I know, and he has lived in Toronto as long as I did, and he's still there. And he just like never clicked with the scene very well, and he spends like he doesn't go out. Like the whole thing about Toronto is like it's like you're supposed to grind and go out every night or whatever, and he never bought into that. And would perform like I would perform like 15 times to him performing one time.
Right.
But he would stay in and write all the time. And like he would just apply himself in other ways. And he's like, he goes up like once every 6 months and just destroys. He's so good, you know?
Truly goals.
Yeah. So
Goals.
it's like, I mean, if you are like tired or whatever, I mean, you were already gonna go to Foggy, so it's not exactly a perfect example. But like
Right.
if you did want to just stay in and like you're like, okay, well, I'll write one page.
I have always wanted to do a double header though. So maybe tonight.
This will be your first double header?
Maybe if I can do it.
Oh, you can totally do it.
I do like.
Just gotta dress sensibly.
Where's my hoodie?
Yeah.
That stage just kills me though. But I have to.
But that's the way
rip
to do
the
it.
Band-Aid off and just do it.
You got to go from Sunday Sillies to Foggy, because you got to go from the tough show to the fun show.
The fun show, the encouraging show.
Yeah. Sunday Sillies can be very fun, but it is more challenging.
It is way more challenging.
That
people.
being said, though, and I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, I love this.
That being said, I think that the audience at Foggy, as hot as they are like pretty discerning. Like they will be quiet. Like if like you, it still has to be a joke. Like some rooms you go into and the audience is just like way too hot, and you're like, what are they paying
it's too
these
easy
people
to please you?
Yeah. So I feel like Foggy is a good like a real warm, supportive room with limits.
With limits, for sure. Always fun though. Always fun. I've always had
Definitely.
Fun there. Another assumption I have about you is you don't, and I'll rephrase how I have this written. I have it written as you don't dislike a lot of people, but I guess what I mean is you're not someone who sits in negativity when it comes to individuals.
I love to rant and rave about something people did that bothered me or whatever. Like I love to.
Do you really?
I mean, I like to just let it out.
Yeah.
Like, I was on about something. I was on about a couple things yesterday. And I'm not going to bring up either of them.
I wish I was there, because I would love to see the side of you, because I don't think I've seen it yet.
It's very much, it's a very private thing. But I love, and it's only with people I very much trust. But it's like, is it's sort of just to get it out. It's not like I really do not, I try not to like, hold any grudges or harbor any kind of resentment.
You don't seem like someone who like holds grudges against people.
Yeah, I don't hold grudges. There's a lot of people I don't like, and I just do my best not to interact with them. But
that's a good way to be. Not someone who like shit talks all the time.
Yeah, I only shit talk to those I trust.
That's good, because that's how things get around, and that ain't good.
Yeah.
You gotta have a small circle of people that you trust. You're very adaptable. So I said this in regards to comedy, but I think also in life you're adaptable. You're someone who can crash at people's places and like move around, and you do seem like a nester.
I think it's that I'm becoming less adaptable. I think I was very adaptable in like my teens and 20s, and that is changing.
You're getting older.
I don't want to. I want to have the comforts. I want to have my home base.
Home base, so important.
And I want like order.
Yeah, I feel that too. I do think that is something that comes with age.
Yeah. But like, I loved like. I had no problem moving to Toronto with nothing. And I mean, not nothing again. But
it doesn't stress you out at all?
It didn't. Now it does. Absolutely. Like I just don't think that maybe I didn't realize what that could do for me, that kind of like stability.
Right. Oh, fair.
But like now that I have it, and have, or now that I've tasted it and I'm building it, it's
feels real nice, right?
It feels so good.
Yeah.
It's so fulfilling. Like I don't even like I used to go out a lot more and like drink a lot more and stuff, and I just don't even think about it so much, because I'm just like, I get so much satisfaction from like just seeing that my kitchen is in order.
Oh, that's so nice.
It is nice. I can't believe I'm saying this stuff. This is who I am now.
No, it's so good. It's good to nest. I just wrote here, you're a very healthy eater. I see a lot of meals out of mason jars.
I mean, in the sense that I save jars to pack up leftovers.
It's just like, you're that girl who has like a fucking oatmeal or something like in a mason jar with berries.
I'm not making those. I want to. I would absolutely.
I also went grocery shopping with you, and I know how healthy you eat and how clean you eat. I don't see that. I don't see you. I know Dan likes fast food, but do you ever falter? And like, when you do, what do you eat that's bad for you?
I mean, I had a really, I don't know, because I've worked a lot on this. This is some of the like personal work that I've done. So I'm very careful with the language I use, because I don't like the idea of like assigning positive or negative,
good versus bad food.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think everything is good food
because you're eating, so it's good.
It's important.
Yeah.
What's important is that you eat when you're hungry and you have energy. But for a lot of years, I ate as comfort, and I wouldn't eat in a very good routine, like in any kind of like schedule. And I was always, when I did eat meals, I was like hyper focused on low calories, like trying to, just like eat as low calorie as possible. And then I would always end up binging.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, because I was hungry. And I mean, it also was in part to like an emotional dependence on it. But what has helped that is having a schedule, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and like focusing on making those meals good and enjoyable and like filling. And I don't think at all about calories anymore.
Fuck yeah.
So it's like there was a lot of years that I would avoid fast food completely. But now if it's like between like even like a fucking McDonald's hamburger for breakfast and no breakfast, like I'm going to have the hamburger.
Right.
Like it's like, just eat at that meal.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Really
so it's
good.
like, it's not some, I like cooking and, yeah, I don't know. It's not, I spent a lot of years trying to eat like clean, like chicken and salad or whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But now like Dan helps that a lot because Dan just like eats constantly. But he always eats 3 meals a day for sure. Like he eats good meals and he eats like as much.
But what a form of self-care. Like
It's the best thing I've ever done for myself.
I can't tell you how many days I just don't plan that into my life.
It's something that I was able to really focus on in the pandemic too. Like in lockdown was when I like really got into meal times. That's like that routine in the day was so important, helpful for my mental health.
Something to do, keeps you productive.
It's like it's crazy. Just the simplest things that can help your mental health. Like, it's just like, okay, humans are supposed to eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Humans are supposed to sleep at night and be awake in the daytime hours.
It's so easy, guys. We make it very hard on ourselves.
We make it so much harder for ourselves.
So true.
Like,
my God.
Yeah. Get outside sometimes.
Oh shit! Now I have to bullet tonight. That's all right.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. Then you can get out of there so fast. You don't have time to think about what the room is like.
Sounds good. Sounds good, Ian. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that is so important. And again, it's thoughtfulness. I was talking about this with Brad, like just thinking about like what you're eating and if it's good for you.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, what a way to treat yourself. Treat yourself, baby.
Yeah, but my kryptonite was always like chips or like stuff I could get at like a convenience store on my way home from like a show or something.
Yeah.
Because at like meal times I was like in the like clean eating, like good food, bad food mindset. So I like would stay away from fast food as much as I could. But yeah.
So those are my assumptions.
I love them. Those were all good. Thank you.
Okay, good. good. Okay. So now we're gonna get into the rant segment.
Okay.
Find out what is on your mind, what's pissing you off, making you mad. It's your turn to pop off, baby.
All right. So my rant is none of those things. My rant is about how crying in movies. I am for it. I love crying in movies so much.
Do you mean people watching movies crying or people crying in the movie?
I mean like me watching a movie and crying. Yeah, I love it.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. And I have been like zeroing in on like I'm realizing that I do love this, like this release, and it feels so good. But I'm like, what it is that I'm realizing what gets me emotional when I'm watching a movie, and it's friendship stories, like anything like friendship based, like especially female friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And I brought this up earlier, like Dan asked me what my rant was going to be, and I said that, and he's like, you didn't cry in Little Women. And I was like, no, but I bawled my eyes out in Ghostbusters 3. Like that stuff gets me going so much. Like, oh my God, Turning Red. Oh, I was just a sobbing mess through that whole movie, and it felt so good. And it's just because it's like friendship. I don't know, like especially female friendship will just like really just the presence of it gets me emotional in a movie. But friendship in general. Turning Red, Toy Story 4, like Bo is such a badass. That just was making me cry. And yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. So that's my rant is I love crying in movies at female friendship.
I think that's great.
Oh, Ghostbusters 3. Have you seen it?
No.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Does this resonate with you at all? Like, do you cry in movies?
So here's the thing. Okay. I cry so much.
Oh, okay.
Just in life.
Okay.
That I'm actually the opposite. I have a hard time sometimes connecting to mediums or films to the point where I cry because I am so sad in my own life. This is so sad.
Right.
But this is what I'll say. in terms of like, I guess, themes that I would cry to, I definitely relate, because if I'm ever at a wedding, it's never the father-daughter dance that does it for me. It's always the maid of honor speech that will get me bawling.
Yeah.
Crying my eyes out.
Yeah.
And nothing else, not even the first kiss, not even like the walk down the aisle. I don't care about any of that shit.
Yeah.
I want to hear what this bitch's main bitch is saying about her.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
You know?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't the maid of honor, but I did like the speech for the bridal party at my friend's wedding, and I destroyed.
Oh, of course you would. You'd be the perfect person to do it.
But I got them sad too.
Did you?
Oh yeah, that was one of my best performances.
But I
shout out to Shauna and Brian.
I think comics can have the ability to be very emotional beings.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of them don't tap into it.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, and that's why I think Ghostbusters 3 was so moving for me, because it is like it took me 2 watches to find it funny. I was moved by it on the first watch, but on the second watch, I was like, okay, this is funny. I think it was just like it had such a high bar.
Yeah.
So like when I first watched it, I was like, oh no, these jokes aren't that good. But then when I watched it again, I was like,
wait,
whatever.
Ghostbusters 3, is that the first one with the female cast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I have seen it.
Oh, okay.
I have seen it. I didn't realize it was Ghostbusters 3.
I think so.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
The one with Kristen Wiig and
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
If it's not Ghostbusters 3, I apologize. It's the new we'll just call it the new Ghostbusters.
The new Ghostbusters. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like because they are like funny together and stuff, like that just when there's like the action scene, like I had never seen 3 women in it or 4 women in an action sequence together.
Right.
Up before that point, like I was so moved by that, like that there were going to be little girls watching this movie and be the heroes. Like that was something I never saw that in that way.
See, I got emotional during Wonder Woman for that reason.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I should watch that.
Like Wonder Woman, I mean, it's not so much female friendship, but just female empowerment, I guess, or the fact that she was the badass. Like there's one scene in particular that's just very epic, and yeah, that got me emotional for sure.
Yeah,
actually, when you talk about movies about female friendship, I think of Bridesmaids.
Oh, also yeah.
Like that one. Oof.
Oh, boy. Yeah. It's just specifically the scene in the new Ghostbusters when it's like a slow motion action scene and Kate McKinnon is like pulling out her 2 sidearms, and it's like it's just her being like her goofy self but like looking badass doing it, and like I can't watch that scene without just like bursting into tears.
I need to watch this.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what other movies are there that are like? I mean, have you seen Now and Then? Oh, Claire.
What?
You got to see Now and Then.
I think I have seen it.
It's the one with like Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, and they ride bicycles. I mean, like every 80s movie features like, bicycles pretty heavily.
It's like the look back on their friendship.
Right.
And stuff.
I think I need to rewatch it because I don't really remember it.
Oh, it's
But the one that first got me, and it's not necessarily female friendship, but the first movie that ever got me bawling was My Girl.
Oh yeah,
but it's because they are such good friends.
Friendship.
They care so much for each other, and he's just trying to do something nice for her. I love Macaulay Culkin. I am so fond of Macaulay Culkin. He's
a gem.
Oh God, he's charming.
He's a gem. There's so many good ones. I think it's a big theme just because, I mean, like in the words of Hannah from Girls, like she wrote the relationship between college girls is more dramatic than any romantic relationship.
Yeah. That's that. I mean, I never went to college, but like that checks out in my life,
right? College age,
yeah,
I mean, female friendships go through it.
Yeah,
they really can go through it. So to have a lasting female friendship is it's a privilege.
Yeah, truly
an honor, really. At this point,
yeah.
Do you have a best female friend that you think of, or do you have a group of them, or?
I feel like I always describe my friendships as like satellites. Like I don't really have a big group of friends anymore. I just have like a bunch of individuals.
I love that. Satellites. That is so cute.
I have a few that come to mind real quick. Yeah, like Sean I mentioned, and my friend Paige. And then like Heather and Tamara in Toronto. And I'm surely missing someone that I will be devastated to remember later. But yeah, I've got a few really solid.
Do you find it hard to maintain?
Not anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of I see where you're coming from. I think life just yeah, I was going to say got less dramatic, but that's not true.
Guaranteed. It will get worse and more dramatic.
Do they I mean, I have probably lots of female friends that I'm not, you know, like I've had lots of female friends that I haven't kept, but I have lots of friendships that I haven't really maintained. So
it's tough.
Yeah. I think a big realization for me in my life was this idea of compatibility and appreciating that when I really like someone, they probably really like me, or there's probably a significance there.
Mm-hmm.
Like for a lot of my life, if I really found someone really fun to be around or really charming or funny or whatever, I was like, oh, but they're just great and everybody likes them. And then I realized at a certain point that like that sort of stuff often comes out in people because they are connecting with you too, or they're comfortable with you too. So
right.
Yeah, I think it has so much to do with like working on the ones that work.
Yeah, working on the ones that work.
Working on the ones that work and the ones that don't feel like work.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great, where you're not like trying too hard.
Yeah, and you don't no one ever makes the other one feel guilty or anything for not, like if there is a big stretch of time that goes by, both parties just sort of
understand.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. You really do have to treat it similar to like a romantic relationship in terms of like needs and like what do you need and like love languages and all of that. Like it's very similar in friendships.
Yeah.
Figuring that out and how you fit together with that person.
Yeah.
Fucking
one of
tough.
One of the most like just when I moved, I said goodbye to a friend that just the way we were relying on each other at that point, especially like in the pandemic, it felt like
a breakup,
as painful as like a romantic breakup. Like, yeah. And I would say probably even worse than those for me in a lot of ways because there was not a lot of understanding around the feelings we were having, I think, like, because it's like with a breakup, at least it's like it's known that is painful.
Yeah.
But like me moving away from a friend, like there's no finality. Like our friendship's going to continue.
Right.
But there was a real finality to like the relationship we had.
Yeah. Things are going to be way different now. I'm physically not going to be here.
Yeah. And losing that was really, really.
Well, because then you go, how are we going to be friends without this physical, the fact that we're in the same city?
Yeah. The routine. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough.
And like the way it played out, like was so painful.
Oh no.
Like more lastingly painful than most breakups have been for me, because those are just like wrap up, you know, like it's like hurts, but it's like it's you can understand it and it's like in this box.
It hurts, but like I find a lot of times it's like with a breakup it'll be like hurt, and then very gradually it's like, yeah, I'm good, I'm over it.
Yeah.
With friendships you're always going like why?
Because we're still friends, you know.
What? Like why, you know, like there's no closure almost.
Mm-hmm. And fortunately, we just recently had a very nice talk about it.
Oh, that's good.
But because I was the one that left, I never felt like I just had to wait. I just had to sort of be patient and hope that she would want to connect that way again, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very glad that did happen.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But it's just, so as I guess like I thought of that because of the question, like, do you find them hard to maintain? Like that was really hard. Over time, I kind of figured out that all I could do was wait and keep showing up, but just like give her space and time.
Whew.
That was really hard.
My God.
But yeah, it was worth it. I mean, like it's when you have that, I'm tearing up. When you have that good friend, it's that kind of friendship. It's
you don't want to let go of it.
Yeah,
but like life happens and things happen.
That was the tough part too. Was that we both absolutely knew that I needed to move, and that I was doing the right thing. It was like those two things existed in separately. That like I was doing what I needed to do, but like this was hard for us.
That's so nice to hear the chat though. I think that I suck at friendship. Like it's truly one of my, I do a lot of things good. I don't do friendship good. And like multiple psychics have told me like you have issues with female friends. And I was like, ding, 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 always. Like it's just never been easy for me for whatever reason to like maintain. I mean, I have one friend that I've known since grade 2. We've never faltered kind of thing. But like it's tough to grow personally and then have your friends not come with you on that journey, and then they're also growing apart from you, and then you're just kind of watching as their lives unfold and your lives, and you're separate. It's just very painful.
Yeah, it is super painful.
And I'm someone who I tend to fight for people too much, and so like I've stopped doing that, and what I've realized is people don't fight for me as much as I fight for them. And so like now my expectations in friendship are very high, and especially with like new friends, I've been very vocal about my friendship with Sarah, being like, this is like the friendship that I've never had because I can start over and be the friend that I wanted to be with these other friends that I don't have anymore. But I'm also so paranoid about fucking anything up with her. So it's just a struggle.
Yeah.
It's just not it's not an easy thing. But I think the beautiful thing about it is that there's care there.
Yeah.
There's love there.
Yeah.
Like in order to stress so much about something, it means you must love it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
have you ever had the experience though where like just where I've had the good fortune, I guess, of like a couple friendships where we've spent like years apart or like without being in very good contact or anything, and then when you get back together and it's like they've kind of grown in the same way. Does that ever happen for you?
Not yet. I mean, I think the hope would be that would happen in the future.
Yeah. It's
I kind of had that happen with a friend, but I don't know where we stand currently. But space can be good. Even though it's painful, it can be good.
It can't, it's just interesting. It's like, I think that just comes down to compatibility, that like you can spend like your lives go in different directions, but you grow in a similar way. Like,
yes.
And I'm thinking very specific examples. Like I had a friend, we were like really close in high school, and then I didn't see her for a couple years. And then when we saw each other again, we were both on this same path of like, we were at the time, this was when I was younger, we were like super environmental, and like we'd stop buying new clothes at the same time. And we were like both like really into eating sustainably at the same time. I mean, that's just like, that's very concrete. That's like less of an emotional.
That's really cool though. No, but
still
your values are lining up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Which can be awesome to experience together. I also think like single versus in a relationship, that can be challenging when it's like other people are moving on with partnership and you're staying single. Like it's always nice to have that person who's in your same boat.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether that's like, a couple friend that you hang out with a bunch who are also in a relationship, or like you have your single friend when you're single, can help. But like, yeah, it has to line up that way, doesn't it? It doesn't always line up that way.
Yeah, and that's why, that's I don't know. I have a lot of friends that it's like I consider them friends, even though like it's just because that we were at one point friends, and we are not in each other's lives really at all anymore. But if we were to run into each other, we would both be delighted to see each other.
Right. Good terms. And like, you're still thinking about each other.
And you have things to reminisce on. And
yep.
And that's like a really rewarding feeling.
Super rewarding. Yeah. 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 It's hard. Not gonna lie. Adult friendships are fucking hard. Everyone get a pet. It really helps. Okay, that was a deep conversation. I really liked that.
Yeah, we both got a little emotional.
A little bit emotional, yeah. So now I want to get into what's wrong with you.
What's wrong with me? I keep trying to like do the music, but I don't. I just keep doing the Batman theme song. What's wrong with you?
I need to make that edit now. Be much more exciting than what I have right now.
Pow. Okay. Well, what I'd written down was that and this is funny that it's on the heels of the last conversation. But I miss a lot of people right now. That's what's wrong with me, is I am so far away from my family and many of my friends.
Right. You're getting a bit lonely, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like lonely isn't the right word, because I do feel satisfied with the community I'm finding here.
That's good.
And Dan is a wonderful partner, and like that's a very satisfying part of my life. But I miss a lot of people.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Maybe do you think it has anything to do with the fact that like it's coming around that time where 2020 2 years ago was happening? It's almost like nostalgic. Mm-hmm. It's a nostalgic time in a weird way. Like thinking back to like your old way, like the before times, what people say. The before times, like it almost feels nostalgic now. Like I fucking get off on nostalgia. I really do. Like I'm someone who's like always thinking about memories, always going back through like old stories and
I am too. I love pictures, like
photo albums,
pictures and stuff. Yeah. I miss that about Facebook, that like people used to just post a whole album of like one night or something.
Remember those times?
I was that person, and it seemed normal to me, but looking back on it now, I'm like, I wonder how everyone felt about that.
Right? Are you the type to let people know you miss them?
I am, definitely. I try to be careful with that, I guess, because I don't want to put it on anyone.
Right.
Like everything that my life is right now is my own design. Like I'm the one that keeps moving away from people I love.
You brought this on yourself, Claire.
Yeah, like it's not like somebody picked me up and moved me 3,000 kilometers from my family. Like I made that decision, but I do like to tell people I miss them, but I want to do it in a way that's like that feels organic. Like I won't just like message someone out of the blue to just say that.
Right.
I tried it, yeah. But I will absolutely tell people I miss them.
That's really nice.
I was literally, Heather and I were talking last night, and that was a large part of the conversation.
And do you stay in touch? Like, I mean, do you communicate regularly with these people that you miss?
It's something I would like to do more.
Yeah.
It's something it sort of would pertain to the point I made earlier about like if you're not connecting with people, you're not vulnerable, and it's just easier.
Yeah.
And I think I've probably learned that from like my family, because my family, for one, is not very well connected within itself. Yeah. And since moving away, I've learned like that I can choose to engage with them, and I can choose not to engage with them, and that's an act of self-care.
Yep. That's very true.
Yep. And I love my family, but like, it's like family is so triggering.
Yes.
It's just like, it's hard to be around family. Even if you're having the best time ever, you're still being like reminded of bad things. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel that.
If you just don't engage with that, then you're not vulnerable.
Big fan of space with family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big fan of personal space. What
am I answering?
Missing people. You're missing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you ask about that though?
But that's not what's, I don't think that's something that's wrong with you though. I think that's what makes you great, is that you're missing people, because it shows that you're connected, that you've had relationships.
Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah.
But
what's wrong with me?
But maybe it's something that you're working on right now. That you're missing people and you're trying to figure out how
to manage that,
how to navigate that, which
I guess
tough.
I guess I answered the question like, what's wrong with my life right now? But like, what's wrong with me? Do
you have a character flaw?
Yeah, what's just a shit thing about me?
This segment is ruthless.
I'm trying to figure out my relationship with alcohol right now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, basically right now I'm in this routine of like not drinking for like a week or so, and then I have like one night and I drink too much, and then I'm like a useless person for 2 days.
Yeah.
Because I used to drink literally like every night, like doing comedy in Toronto for so many years, at a bar every goddamn night.
You have a drink after the show. It's just standard.
And just being a younger person too. I love beer. So and I functioned sort of, not highly. That's for sure.
Oh my God. The booze thing is really easy to let that get out of control for a lot of people. And to be in tune with yourself to go like, this isn't healthy right now and I have to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think is always a good thing for people.
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally kind of hate alcohol. I feel like it makes people shitty versions of themselves. It literally kills people.
It literally kills people. A lot of people don't realize their dependence on it, or their like dependence is too extreme, but like a lot of comedians rely on it to feel for that like confidence boost.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's like you are abusing it,
mm-hmm.
it's still like it's taking away from you.
It is. Yep.
And you just can't see it at all.
And to think that like you can't be this fun version of yourself without it is just not true.
Yeah.
Like I make jokes all the time of like, I'm not really a drinker anymore because I have a good personality. I don't need it.
Yeah.
I just show up like I'm the fun drunk person when I haven't had a sip of it.
Right.
And other people can do that too if they really wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love beer still, and like it's such a big part of Dan's life because he's like he spent the last couple years brewing in PEI, and he loves that, and he just is probably at some point going to get a job like selling beer, being a sales rep. So it's like it's that's his field kind of, and I love it. I really do, and I want to find a way to incorporate it into my life in a way that works for me.
It's healthy.
Yeah. And that's, well, I mean, I don't know if healthy, you can say that because it's not.
That's not a hindrance maybe?
Yeah.
That like makes more sense for you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
And at this point, like where I'm at right now, it's still better than what I was doing before.
That's good.
But it is crazy to see, like, to have like spent time away from drinking or from myself as a drinker, to have been like away from that version of me, and to see how much more focused I can be.
Yeah, right.
Like, and less anxious and like driven. it just like
productive.
It's like, yeah, it's not the like night out itself that's the problem. It's like how it affects me for the coming days. It's not even just the hangover. It's like I have no motivation and I just feel like more depressed, and I never noticed that was happening to me because I didn't spend enough time away from it, isn't
that crazy
to have like a few days in a row or whatever feeling good.
Yeah. It's just like caffeine, honestly.
Is it? I love coffee. Don't tell me that. I don't want to quit that.
Like if you go without caffeine.
Oh no.
Like when I go without caffeine, I'm just like this. I don't feel like Sarah.
Oh la 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 la. I don't want to know.
But I mean, like, again, that's another thing where it's like you can still
I'm not ready.
You can still have caffeine. You can still have caffeine and have it be in moderation, whether that's like 1 or 2 cups a day versus 5.
Oh, okay. I have 2 cups a day.
Oh, you're fine.
But
you still are you're probably addicted to it still.
Oh, I'm definitely addicted to it.
I think if it's just 2 a day, you don't have to be worried about that addiction. It's not an insane amount.
The first Christmas I spent with Dan's family, his parents didn't have a coffee maker. His mom had instant decaf.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I was so like I thought I was being chill about it, but because obviously Dan has this concept in his mind that I'm this low maintenance, like
chill
woman
girl
with a backpack. Yeah. Like we'll move in with him with a backpack kind of free spirit, but like coffee. And again, like this is a thing that really I relied on in the pandemic for like my routine and my comfort. They didn't have a coffee maker, and I was just like, well, how are we going to get coffee? Like, I wouldn't even accept that we wouldn't have coffee that morning.
Right. It's like, well, how are we going to make this happen? Not this happen. Let's deal with it.
Without me drinking instant decaf.
What did you do? Did you find a way?
I think his sister ended up bringing us coffee or something, or you
found a way.
We found a way. Yeah. But I just remember, Dan's, it was like seeing you, sometimes you see someone see you in a new light.
He's like, you're not so strong anymore.
Yeah. He's like, I just remember him being like, I've never seen you like this before. So that's what's wrong with me. There we go. We found it.
No, I love that because that's a tricky one. I mean, booze is just figuring out how that works is hard.
Yeah.
I just truly don't. It doesn't. To me, it's just dollar signs. Like this is $5. This is like $6.
Yeah.
For me to feel like maybe slightly looser than I felt like before this. It's just silliness.
It is. It's entirely unnecessary, and I think it puts a lot of walls up between people because you think like it's like, what are we gonna do if we don't go for a drink or whatever,
Right.
If I didn't love beer, I would feel closer to how you feel, but I genuinely love the taste, the process, the smell. I love beer. That's
my thing. When I drink, I usually drink something super bland and boring, like a vodka soda with lemon.
Yeah.
Because that's usually what hydrates me the best and like makes me feel the best when I'm drunk. Mm-hmm. And it's just not, I'd rather Coca-Cola. Would much prefer that.
Yeah.
I love that. Like pop is I just fucking love like Coke and Pepsi and pop and stuff. Like, ugh. But
I don't like pop at all.
So jealous.
I'm really, I did as a kid. And then my friend, I just had this one friend who had like real like hippie parents, and like they were like, pop is so bad for you.
If you cut it out, you'll lose so much weight. Like if you're someone who regularly drinks it, and if you cut it out.
At the time of my life, I like was rail thin no matter what I did. But like I just, as a young person, that was how it was for me. So It was definitely like I developed a lot of bad habits with food because of that.
Oh, yeah.
And then like 25, the bottom drops out and...
Right? Metabolism goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that said, I have been working a lot on like radical self-acceptance.
Oh, I love
I don't even want to say like radical self-love, but like radical self-acceptance, because if you accept yourself, then you accept you can accept more widely. Like, I think one of the most like damaging things people can do to each other is criticize their own body.
Yep.
Because you're saying that this is unacceptable in me. So but it's like written off because you're like, well, I'm talking about me. But it's like, if you don't accept that in your own self, then like you don't accept it in others.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That's so tricky to navigate. I tend to say, because I'm also kind of aware of that now too. And I just try to say, I'm just not feeling myself tonight.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it, because
I'm just not feeling myself tonight, and it's nothing specific. Yeah. Even though there are, when you're experiencing it, there are specific things
absolutely
that you could probably point out. But it's like I saw it was probably just on Instagram or something, which was just like, we just have to stop commenting on bodies. Like,
we absolutely do.
Like just in general, we have to just stop doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, people are such champions for like inclusion and diversity. And then there's so much stigma on larger bodies. Yeah. And it's that's like the next frontier, I think.
It is, and it's hard because I'm of a generation that grew up on Weight Watchers points and calorie counting.
Yeah.
And definitely did not grow up with body positivity. And I'm trying to write a joke where it's like, I was the last generation before so kids growing up now are like, body positive, like be whatever size you want, wear a bikini, like
everyone, and everybody has a bathing suit body or whatever.
And my generation like supports that, but we still want plastic surgery.
Yeah,
you know, like we're still saving for lipo, even though we're supporting all of the movement. We love
like
it.
Flipping your magazine.
We love it, but we still want to be skinny, and it's unfortunate, but it's true.
It's true. I agree with that as well. That like, yeah,
it's tough to encourage it, but then not practice it.
Well, I
feel like a hypocrite sometimes.
Yeah, that is very true. What I was going to say was more to speak to like, I don't want to disparage or shun anyone that's not there yet either. You know, that's still like older generations who are still under that
standard of beauty.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's gotta be like a willingness to grow, and then a patience for those who haven't as well.
Oh, that's a great way to put it. Mm-hmm. Because that second part, some people miss that, and there's no empathy there. It's just, why aren't you accepting this?
I don't want to cause any division.
Exactly.
I don't want to make anyone. I don't want to push anyone further away from my cause.
Yeah.
And that's speaking from a point of privilege for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't expect that patience from people who are more affected by, whatever situation.
Right.
But that's what I want to champion is, like working towards growth and like giving an opportunity for those that haven't experienced that yet, or been moved to look for that growth themselves, giving them an option or an opportunity to find it.
Yes. Like I grew up in a time when you really would call out your friend. Like if your friend said, I feel fat today, you would say, you're so much skinnier than me. Why are you saying that? Mm. Like that was like my generation of how we would react. It was, you're this, so you don't deserve to feel that way.
And younger people would be like, you can't say you don't feel fat or you feel fat, because that is like, I don't know. I'm doing this poorly, but I've seen a lot of things written about how like feel fat is, you can't say that.
Oh, you can't?
Well, you're not supposed to, because it's like, it's like some people are like, well, I am fat. So can
That's
you not
right.
say that what you feel bad? You're saying because you feel bad, you feel like you are me right now?
Right. Actually, I had Alicia McCarville on and we talked about this. On,
right.
and
I am a huge fan of her.
Right?
I follow her on Instagram anyway.
She said something similar. She's like, oh, so you feel fat? I'll show you what fat looks like, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I very much so just try to do the, I just don't feel good about how I look tonight. Like
Exactly.
I try to phrase it as vaguely as I can.
Yeah.
Because in
you can still
reality,
describe your own experience without putting anyone down.
yeah, it's true. And in reality, like there's probably times that I look the same, but like emotionally I'm feeling better and I feel like a sexy bitch. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like it's just, it's so fucking complicated and there's not a formula.
No. And I'm still like,
Unfortunately.
it's like any sort of allyship or anything that you're trying to, raise a group up over. It's you're constantly learning. You're constantly unlearning.
That's true too. Unlearning is just as hard.
Yeah. I know through the pandemic, one of my friends who is like a larger body told me that she was really having a hard time because so many people were talking about the weight they were gaining in the pandemic. And she's like, well, I already had this. Like,
right.
And so these people talking about how awful it was that they were gaining this weight in the pandemic. She's like, the way she put it was like, it's like, this is the worst thing that could happen to them. And the worst thing that could happen to them is like my existence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. Yikes. That's fucking, yeah, that right there. I mean, we have to like put ourselves in other people's shoes more, I think.
Yeah.
I had the rude awakening for me, like you mentioned like when you were younger, you were just always like thinner. And same with me, like when I look back at pictures of myself, I'm like, holy shit, she was skinny. But when you get older, it just changes. But like for me, the rude awakening was when I started not being able to find clothes that fit me in stores that I liked.
Yeah.
Like when I had to go up to that large.
Yeah.
And then also the large was tight. And then you're going.
It's bullshit.
And
retail is fucking bullshit.
And I never really realized it. I mean, I always kind of knew that. But I didn't really realize it fully until I was in the situation of walking out of stores because nothing fit me.
Oh,
Because the large is still not large.
Yeah. I remember I went shopping. I went to H&M with a good friend of mine, and she was someone who was more caught up in the body image or the pursuit of thinness than I was at the time.
Oh, okay, yes.
And she was a very small person as far as I was concerned. And she bought the largest size of pants at H&M. Like that was what fit her. And I was so fucking mad. I was like, if this, like, what is there for the rest of us? You know?
Right.
Like, this is fucked up. This is what the, like.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
It
really, really makes no sense.
This could have been my rant.
Yeah, it's a great rant because it's bullshit.
Better than just crying about.
And don't get me started on bra
brands.
Sizes and shit like that, and bras and how
bras are
expensive
not even.
bras are
a lie. Bras are. We don't. You don't need a bra.
You don't.
You can find comfort other ways.
You can. I'm a new adopter of this. I fucking hate bras now. I used to wear them all the time because like, it keeps them perky, and it's true. It does. But but you know what else keeps them perky? Some tight tank tops or a bralette.
Yeah, or bralettes are great.
Or you know,
and
like
I don't know. I have no like scientific backup of this.
Scientific.
The science community is not necessarily behind me on this, but I have a theory that like if you always wear a bra and you're always supporting them with something, they aren't building any strength on their own. So
oh my god, that's so funny.
So they will like sag and weaken quicker.
So going braless is strength training for your boobs.
That's how I look at it. That's genuinely how I look at it.
I kind of love it.
I have been strength training these guys for 4 years.
I also love free the nipple and not caring if your nipples are showing.
That is something I'm struggling with because my nipples are showing a lot because I only ever wear bralettes. And I want to not care, but it's like, it depends on the environment that I'm in because like it, you know, like I was saying, like I want to do every comedy show. I want to appeal to every audience. And so I'm putting myself in front of a lot of people that aren't on the same wavelength as me. And I feel like if my nipples are out in the open, we're going to have a harder time connecting.
You're right. There's definitely a difference between doing it on stage versus like out for brunch with your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I feel like I could do it at like a girly brunch.
And I could even do it at like a queer show or something.
Queer show.
Yeah.
Day at the beach or just going around like hot summer day. But I feel you.
Cold spring day more likely, but
it's one of those things. I'm the same where I'm like, I love this, but also not quite there yet.
Exactly. And it's like
totally
when you like, I'm very committed to sort of like reaching, like what I was saying about like always working towards growth and like being patient with people who haven't had that growth yet. Like I want to like be what's the word I'm looking for? Like approachable. I want to be accessible to people that I know that haven't experienced the education that I've experienced in terms of like, I guess just sort of a lack of ignorance towards like other people's experiences and little things like that. Like, are my nipples out? You know, like, can they see my armpit hair? Like, these are things that are going to create a disconnect, and you don't have to do everything all at once.
No,
you can ease them in.
You can ease them in for sure. Don't have to come out the gate blazing.
Yeah. This just made me think of telling you and Adrian Gabrielle at Yuck Yucks that I didn't shave my armpits anymore. And I just remember both of you being like, oh.
Again, because I'm from the generation of like hair was bad.
Yeah, me too.
And I associate, I actually associate like women who don't shave their armpits with like, you're just a free ass bitch who like, I admire it. I just don't think I could ever do it.
It is scary. And I think a lot about, are my armpits out right now kind of stuff. That being said, for the JFL showcase on Thursday, I shaved my armpits just for like, just as like, not that I was wearing it. It was like, not that I was wearing anything that they would be seeing or anything, but I was like, I don't know, just one less thing to think about.
Well, you're also aware that, people are still learning. And so those people might be in the crowd and they might be distracted.
Exactly.
And you don't want to take that away from your performance. So I think that's fine.
Oh, that's something I didn't do for a long time, but there have been a couple occasions where I have shaved my armpits now. Because I did, for those of you that aren't privy to this information, quit shaving my armpits in the pandemic and decided that I liked how it looked on me better.
Really?
Because there's like women I've known in my life that I've clocked it that they didn't shave their armpits, and I was like, they look so fucking cool. Yeah, like it just makes you look cooler.
It does.
It's like how you used to think about people with dreadlocks. Like when you would see a white person with dreadlocks, you'd be like, wow, they must be cool. And now you know better. But like I started seeing myself that way when I grew it out or when I didn't shave it, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh man, I look cool.
Right? It is a cool, laid back, give no fucks.
And there's like, you can never get the perfect shave. Like you never like, it's never as flawless as you want it to be.
I've only recently just started embracing bush. Like,
oh
yeah.
Okay.
Like I think the pandemic was the first time I ever bought a razor that was like an electric razor.
Yeah.
It's actually like electric razor on one side and then just a regular razor on another, because I had grown it out so
and you
much.
wanted to just kind of trim it a bit?
Yeah. And so now I just kind of embrace that.
Yeah.
As my like default. Not full bush. Let me clarify.
Okay, well, I'm full bush. Let me clarify.
Mine's like tight shaven, the sides are done, the top, like it's just like
it's sort of like a fade. Did you give it a fade?
Oh my god, I did. That's exactly what it is. It's not a full bush. What would it be called? Like a shrub? I don't know. Like what, a hedge? I don't know. That's not right either. I need to figure out what it is. It's not quite a bush. But I have gotten there, but I feel better when things are a little trimmed up. I actually do feel better with it all gone. But again, that's just my fucking generation. I grew up.
Yeah. Well, see,
thinking it was terrible.
I never had the fucking nerve to shave it or to get rid of it or anything. I was too afraid of like what could happen. Of like, I don't know, I guess of like injuring myself or of the discomfort of the regrowth.
That's totally fair. Yeah. That does fucking suck.
Yeah. So I never even once in my life I've never gone full gone. I've like, I have trimmed it up at times, but for the most part, I don't care. The only time I care is if I have to wear a bathing suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's only because of the things that have been drilled into my head about how unsightly it would be for oh, good God. If you were to see that a woman had pubic hair outside of her bathing suit, oh, dear Lord, call the police.
What a monster.
Yeah. What a joke. Laugh at her. Laugh at that stupid slut. Yeah. I've always, because it's just,
well,
I don't know. I just
the great thing is that men are so open to it now, and that's pretty wonderful.
I've always had to be open to it with me.
I love that. I love that because, yeah, I guess for me, it was always just like they say they don't care, but in my head, I'm like, they care. So I gotta shave this shit. Yeah. And then girls who shave know the tips and tricks that you can do.
Because I don't. And I was always scared for that learning curve.
You gotta, I mean,
it would have saved me a lot of trouble, I think, because I was ashamed of it because I was from that generation as well, that hair was gross, but I just like, it was my dark secret.
Wow.
But then like men would never care that much.
I know they really don't. Cause they're at that point, they're like, I'm going to have sex with you.
Yeah.
I've decided.
If anyone I've slept with feels differently, please do let me know. But like, I'm pretty sure I do have a memory of like in high school, I was with like a group of friends and it was like I had my high school boyfriend and his best friend and then a few more friends, and his best friend made a comment about I don't remember what it was, but he made some kind of joke about people who don't shave, and I remember being like, wait, what do you mean by that? And he said, I don't want to say it right now because I don't want to embarrass anybody. So I'm assuming that it was like, that was something that my boyfriend had shared with him.
That's not cool.
That made me feel like
that's not cool.
Teeny tiny, like a 1 inch tall. But since then, since that one experience, there's never been a negative response to it.
That's amazing. Maybe I'll try.
Give it a go.
I mean, I'm going to try to grow it. You try to shave it. No. I'm out. Honestly, the razor burn isn't worth it.
It's not. It can't. It doesn't.
It's not worth it.
Like my legs, never any razor burn. My armpits, razor burn sometimes. I can't even imagine what this like.
Yeah, it's no fun. It's no fun. You can get creams and stuff that are like for ingrown hairs that help. Well, the best thing that
that's capitalism for you.
The best thing that I discovered was when I started doing waxes. They gave me this like scrubby, like almost like an exfoliator,
it's like a pumice stone sort of, right?
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And doing that in the shower regularly, like really helped with like razor burn, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's always something you can buy.
And also, like, I don't know if it's even really that's good for you, but I used to baby powder the fuck out. Like, I would just put baby powder, and it would sort of help soothe things. I don't know if that's good for the downstairs area or not.
Yeah, well, my pubic area always feels great, so
it's easy. It's easy. Women,
just don't fuck with it.
Just don't fuck with it. The most I've gotten is I do the sides, I trim it down, and I do the top. That's what you're gonna get.
I imagine your vagina looks like the Fresh Prince. Like
I gave myself a fade. Oh my God, that's so funny. What an interesting derailment. I've learned more about you tonight.
Where the fuck were we? Yeah.
Where were we? We went from female friendship to body positivity to pubic hair. We have one more segment left. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
in unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion, Claire. What you got? Don't hate me for this, but it's time for unpopular opinion.
Okay, I had a few things written down. Unpopular opinions. For one, COVID is not over.
I thought you were going to say it's not real. Can you imagine coming out the gate?
For one, we're in a scamdemic. Okay, no. For one, yeah, COVID's not over. I feel like we're living in like an extended Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Instead of a day, it's just like we're living in like the same fucking cycle of months. Like everyone, it's just going to make it really bad again in a minute. And we can see that in other places that have been ahead of us this whole time that things are getting bad again.
Fuck.
So it's just I don't even know what to do anymore at this point. Like I don't know.
I'll speak to this too because I had a moment of weakness last weekend where I do have to speak to this because I've been feeling guilty all week. I did go out to like a bar like where there was a lot of people without masks.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't think so. Like I just had this moment of fuck everything. I want to feel serotonin. Like I had a very bad day that day too. I was like,
serotonin would be your drag name,
right? Apparently, like a bunch already have it, but like it definitely would be.
Damn it!
It definitely would be.
They're such clever people.
But I had this moment of weakness where I was like, I just want to go out and like it was emo night at the Marquee, so it was a DJ playing emo music, and I was just like, I just want to go out and let loose, and who cares if and my thought process has always been, if I get it, I get it. I don't have a lot of contacts in my life that are high risk. I have a job that helps me work from home. Like I'm in a good situation. If I were to get it, I wouldn't affect others. I would just stay home and, deal with it or whatever. But I did have a moment of weakness where I went to the bar and I went in going, I'm just going to leave my mask on. And
then you took your mask off.
When I was there, Clare, the culture shock that I experienced that night.
Yeah.
Because it was a fuck ton of people. The most amount of people I've seen. And I mean, I guess not including the John Mulaney show, which was a whole stadium.
But that's more organized.
More organized, yeah. And in the States, it was also very weird because there was no masks.
Yeah.
But at emo night, it was like, here, we're in Halifax. You're at this bar, you're with your friends. No one's masked. And I felt like I was dreaming.
Yeah.
It was fucking bizarre. I eventually didn't wear a mask and I danced and I just was like, I accept it. And I gotta be honest, did not feel good about it.
You didn't? Because I want to say, like,
I had
so
fun.
glad you had that experience. That's fantastic.
I had fun, and I think my soul needed it. But I went away going, I did not feel. That was a stupid choice. Clifton Cremo actually said something to me on the drive up to Maine about COVID, which is like, if you get it, you were dumb. Something you did was dumb, and that was your choice. Like if I had got COVID from emo night,
yeah,
I was dumb.
I got COVID from lunch with Sean Hogan. And I know that's dumb. I know.
You idiot.
Never have lunch with Sean Hogan. We've all heard that our whole lives.
It was an extreme take, but he's not totally wrong because it is still everywhere. It's not like they confirmed that COVID was gone.
Is he? But he's like, if he's saying that, then he's obviously admitting that he's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't want to like make anyone feel bad for the choices they're making.
Exactly. Right.
At this point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think there's a limit to that. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
there is a limit.
Like if there's events happening in your community, like, okay, go for it. But like at the same time, I don't know, is it
worth it? Yeah.
No, it's not that. I am holding back from talking about a different thing. But no, it's not interesting.
Oh, end of the episode. Let's hear it.
It's not juicy at all. No. I think if people think that it's over and that our lives aren't going to continue to be negatively impacted by this, they are sadly mistaken.
Very mistaken.
But like, if
we're not seeing the numbers,
if there's a weird DJ night in your neighborhood that you want to go to with your friends and wear eyeliner, that's Great. I think you should do that.
So weird. The weirdos I saw that night.
I hated emo at the time.
It was the most bizarre.
But I bet it would have been so fun.
Because in my mind, like I would spend nights on end rewatching concert videos and rewatching like crowds singing songs together and longing for that experience again.
Of course.
And then I realized when I got it how weird it was because it was so far from what we've adapted to. And we've become so accustomed to masks and so accustomed to distance and so accustomed to like staying home and it was just jarring. That's the only word that I can use to describe it.
You enjoyed yourself, but you just felt guilty? Is that the... Okay.
Pretty much.
Well, I hope that
I won't be doing it again.
No?
Anytime soon.
Okay. I mean, I understand that as well. It's like you take certain risks. You gotta evaluate the risks and that's...
I think that's what it is right there. I think people have to fucking evaluate...
Don't be selfish, I guess, right?
Don't be selfish. Yeah, think of others in your life that you're connected to that you could impact.
Yeah.
By making that decision.
Right. I don't know. Did you hear that Brad has COVID?
Yes.
And his partner, who I know he discussed on the show, I mean, she's got a lot of health shit. Like, scary. I don't know. Maybe we should cut this, but
scary.
Yeah.
And he said that he probably got it that night that we had hung out, which, I've been feeling fine. I mean, other than just exhausted, but that's just my life.
He also could have gotten it on PEI because PEI is a cesspool right now, unfortunately. Also probably cut that. I don't mean to say it that way. PEI is, there's just a lot of cases right now and the community is so small and things spread quickly, which is what they were worried about the entire time, which is why it's especially unfortunate because they took such great measures to prevent this and now it's the reality.
It's pretty delusional to think that it's gone.
Exactly. Yeah.
'Cause it ain't.
And it's just like this is what we're living with right now is sort of this uncertainty and it's just you just kind of have to plan for that.
You gotta plan for it. This is what life is right now.
Okay, other.
Oh, do you have another one?
Other unpopular opinions. I don't like cars.
Me neither.
I don't care for them at all. I wish we didn't need them. I do like driving, but I would prefer if like cities didn't have cars. Like I would way rather be on a bike or something. But I like driving like on a highway or something. But like I don't like cars. I think they suck.
Me too.
Like imagine if we just had like a train all over.
Oh, that'd be so great. Or like subways.
Would be so. I love a subway.
I love a subway,
but like a train, like the train from Toronto to Ottawa to Montreal is so nice.
Yeah.
You'd be stupid. Like if you can, like it is kind of expensive, but if you can afford it, you'd be stupid not to. Like it's definitely the best way to travel.
I'm terrified of cars actually.
Oh.
Being in them, being hit by them.
Oh.
Car accidents. Yeah, don't like. We'll get in that one.
What an unpopular opinion. Sarah doesn't like car accidents.
Can you imagine saying, I in fact love them.
Okay. This one, I think that Halifax comedy shows could stand to shell out some money to actual graphic designers.
Hold that bell up and ding it. Don't even just ding it. Hold it up and ding it.
This doesn't work as well when I do it like that. But.
And also proofreaders.
Just get Dan Hendricken to proofread every poster.
Please? It's Hendricken, everybody.
Yeah.
I've made the mistake.
It's an easy... You made it in a way that no one has ever made it before.
Hendricken. With an O-N. Sounds like a transformer or something. I think that that's such a great point to make. We love you all. Everyone playing a show, we love you. But yeah, it's only gonna help you to do good posters and also timely posters. May I add? This is not Claire's opinion. This is mine.
Yeah, I don't know about the timely thing.
Just maybe just put it up like not before the day before. Just a little sooner. You know?
I mean,
that's just kind of my thing.
I think that there is like if it's that I would say depends on if it's a weekly or a one-off.
Yes.
If it's a one-off, absolutely you're gonna want more.
But even with weekly, you need to pound it into people's heads that it's weekly. And I think to do that needs, some strategy in terms of promotion, whether that's just more branded strategy of every Monday this show happens. But
really calling out Mondays.
Well, I made like a poster.
Pretty clear who that's about.
I made a poster for Gus's that was just like every Monday at Gus's Pub, like 8 p.m. Like just the basic info, like no dates, no names.
Because no one cares if fucking...
No one cares.
I didn't want to say it. I'm sure he's beloved, but I'm sure Travis Lindsay isn't necessarily swaying somebody if they want to go out to a bar.
Right?
Like,
sorry,
they're
Travis.
Yeah, Travis, you're the best in town. But I mean, people are, if they're just like, I want to do something tonight, it's not gonna make a difference who's on the show.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I picked Travis because I thought he was the best, and it would be meaner to pick someone who wasn't the best.
What was my other? Oh yeah, my other comedy show thing is can we all just agree 8 p.m. start, no earlier?
We're looking at you, the Carlton.
I don't like a 7 p.m.
I don't know. I also disagree with that.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I mean,
Claire knows more.
Why do you think that?
It's just a personal opinion. I'm just never fucking ready on. I'm hardly even ready for 8.
Well, I think that's something that could be adopted in the scene is sort of like communicating with each other about our if you aren't going to be able to get there at the start,
yes,
that's fine.
And there's
spots at the end of the show, and that can be accommodated. But everyone, I think it's just because there's only one show happening per night.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing. It's something that people should strive for, is to be there on time and be there for the show. But if you have other circumstances that are preventing that, that's fine. And we can work together on that, I think.
Just be open, communicate with the booker.
Yeah.
Tell them what's up.
Yeah.
Tell them if you're running late. Tell them, I
think for the most part, people would probably be like, oh, that's helpful. Now that's one less decision for me to make.
Exactly.
In the lineup.
I'm very horny for late night shows because I'm such a late night person.
I think it's important to have a variety. That's why I didn't get on board with the no 7 p.m. shows, because there's going to be audience people. There's going to be audience people that are more early birds. And
that's right. They're coming straight from work.
And they see a 7 p.m. start time and they're like, oh, I'll be home by 10.
That's so true.
And I can be in bed.
And this is why she's way more well-rounded than I am.
I'm so well-rounded.
I just want to tell cum jokes to people at 11 p.m.
I'm round and it's well. And then my last one is I hate TikTok.
Oh.
I mean, I'm the first to say I probably never really gave it a fair shot. But
are you a browser? Do you browse on it?
I don't browse. I just hear Dan listening to it all goddamn day long. And it keeps taking songs that I like and then playing the shit out of them. Only parts. It's like,
or they play a part, then they add something in that ruins it.
Well, they've got that Patsy Cline song right now, "Lonely" or whatever. Or is that what the song is? Lonely.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then that other one that's like dun 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 dun. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No, I don't know that one.
It's on every TikTok song.
Okay.
Let me try it again. What were
you doing? The Ashley Simpson joke.
It's a King Khan song that was like, if a comedy show asked me what my walk-up song was, that would be my choice of a song. It's in a lot of TikTok songs. And you'll hear it, and I could play it. It's called "Love You So," and it's just like, I mean. It's so irritating to hear. It's like no other social media has been irritating to be around if you're not partaking in it. Worst case, it's just somebody's not paying attention to you. But TikTok, it's just abrasive.
It's very abrasive.
Yeah.
It's a mixed bag of things. I love it though. I gotta say, I'm not a TikTok hater, but I
that's why it's an unpopular opinion.
I think I hate the app for. Oh yes. It's
a good walk-up song, right?
That is a great one. I could see you walking up to that.
Yeah.
I hate it for a different reason than you. I hate it for just the stupid features in it that make it hard to make TikToks. Just like making transition videos is really, really hard to do. Like sometimes the user friendliness. Yeah, that's the right way to say that. That's what I hate about it. But okay. I love scrolling it. But I think it's just like any social media app. You got to find your
headphones.
Okay, I gotta say, I didn't tell Dan this, but when he tweeted that Instagram is too loud, I literally had it written in my joke book.
Did I tweet that? That Instagram is too loud?
No, Dan tweeted it.
Oh, okay.
That like every time you open up Instagram, it's like you're at a fucking club because like it's just like very loud because the video side of Instagram is just they're feeding you videos more and like they just play right away when you open your phone, so it's very jarring. I can imagine TikTok has probably the same effect on people who hate that. But yeah, no, I hate certain features of TikTok, but once you find your community on there, like I'm on Swift Talk, I'm on ADHD TikTok, I'm on astrology TikTok, like you'll get the content that you like more.
Yeah. The algorithm works.
The algorithm does work, but it's just like any social media app. It's not fucking
But it's like
great.
I also don't like TikTok because it's like it just shows you everything, like you're in it. As soon as it shows you, you're in it. That feels very invasive. But that's not even, I've never even really used it, but what bothers me about it is just how obnoxious it is to be around. I hate it. I hate it.
It's it also pains me when sounds are used and the young people have no idea where that sound came from, or like that song, like Whitney Cummings went viral on TikTok, a sound of her saying, what's your favorite curse word?
Oh.
And it's like, I cuss a little too. Oh, what's your favorite curse word? Fuck. And then they all laugh like hysterically. And it's like a trending sound. And it's just like, no one knows it was Whitney. And it pisses me off.
It's also something I hate about it though is the repetition of the joke, or like everyone takes their own take. And it's I mean
it's not original at all.
It's just like it can be good, but it seems like a lot of wasted time also. And I know that there's a lot of good stuff on it, but it's just there's so much garbage.
There's a lot of garbage to seep through before you find any goodness.
What an unfortunate. I don't know.
I agree.
I don't have the gumption at this point in the episode to really tear into it, but
love the word gumption. It's one of my favorite words. Fucking love that word, gumption.
Well, gumption's running low.
Gumption's running low. Claire, what a lovely time this was. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my God, my pleasure. I'm glad to finally get to do a solo one.
That was so fun. Great conversations. Please tell people where they can follow you, find your album.
Oh yeah.
Gotta stream that.
I've got the clarebelford.com. I got that locked down.
Fuck yeah. Website. It's not porn anymore.
There's only I was gonna say there's no I in Clare, but I don't know where I was going with that.
Claire, yes.
I had one beer.
Welcome to the low tolerance club. It's fun and cheap here.
Yeah, I had a beer above 5%, so watch out. I'm on Twitter at Clare Belford. Still no I in Claire in that one, and I'm on Instagram at Clarble. CLARBLE, because I thought it would be funny one day if my name was Clarble Ford and not Clare Belford.
Oh,
Clarble Ford.
Love.
Yeah.
I love your username. It's great.
That's the story. There you go.
And
there
listen and stream to listen and stream the Entire Cabbage.
Oh, and the Entire Cabbage. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
The Entire Cabbage. If you were to buy that on, say, Apple Music or something, I think that's the one you should do, but I also haven't seen any of that money.
Oh, so please go to Apple Music.
Well, I don't know how to find it either. But what you really should do, honestly, if you're a comedy fan and you want to support comedians, is get a Sirius XM subscription.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Because that's truly what pays most comedians and keeps most professionals surviving.
Shit. Okay, that's a great tip. That's a great tip. Fucking do that.
Yeah.
Please do that, comedy
There's
fans.
tons
out
of
there.
comedy on Sirius.
Oh,
I've been
goddamn.
told.
And so like when you get played on there, you get money for it.
That's when I get paid. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if my album is selling. I have no need to know
Well,
because the money comes from Sirius XM. I've been staring at the camera for like 10 straight minutes.
Better fucking be. And you know what? If it's not, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Go listen to it right now.
Yeah. Fuck you.
It's really fucking funny.
Thanks for listening to this entire episode. Now, fuck you.
Fuck off. Just so mad. Mean.
Fuck you. You're stupid. My shit.
Oh my
Okay.
God. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Sarah, for continuing to run this wonderful podcast. I really, truly love it.
It would be nothing without amazing guests like you. So you get to do the honors and ring the bell.
Ring the bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you for listening to the Intoxicated Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast app you use and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast and check out our video episodes on the Intoxicated YouTube channel. Until next week, feel hard and talk hard. Intoxicated Podcast is hosted and produced by Sarah McClellan, co-produced by Sarah Nicole, and brought to you by the messiness of life.
Oh, everybody's depressed. Next subject.